Rise, grind, shine, peace and blessings. This is another dope episode with Curtis Rice at Born Raw 86. The first episode, let's go into ageism. Ageism is a fucking disease. That's how I describe it. That's how I define it. It's a disease. It's something that will allow you to talk yourself out of doing anything worthwhile because of your fear of age. Like some people cap off, they cut themselves out and eliminate themselves from diving forward into anything because of their age. They might say, oh, well, I'm 30. If I don't make it by 30, I'm just going to stop. And then before you know it, they end up opting out of something that could have changed their whole entire life. And I'm not really, and it's one thing, because when I was younger, I was so hell-bent on rushing. Like, man, I'm 20. I got to hurry up and do this before I'm 23. And then when I was 23, it was like, now I got to do it before this. It was like I was fucking afraid to turn 30 because I felt like once I hit 30, that it was just a wrap. You know, I was like, but that was something in my mind that I was allowing to just drown myself in. And it was a wrong way of thinking. So I had to switch my perspective after a while, because instead of looking at it like I haven't done this by this age, or, you know, but another thing too, is like depending on what you consume on an everyday basis. So if you're watching something and it's making you feel a type of way, it's kind of like shift what it is that you're consuming in a sense. That's what I gauge from it, because even with watching certain types of content or listening to certain types of content, it will make you feel, especially if you're already prejudging yourself, it'll make you feel even worse sometimes, because you'll go online and you'll see what somebody's doing for their birthday. They might go buy a private jet for their birthday, and you at home feeling some type of way because you just put $2 in the gas tank. Don't feel some type of way because somebody else is getting a result from the hard work that they're putting in, because that's their story, regardless. Because you don't know what it took. You don't know how long it took for them to get to where they're going. So you just seeing the outcome. So it might look easy to a person who's been doing it for 40 years. And if you just started last week and you're looking for a 40-year outcome, it's all in your perspective, is your way of thinking. But it's definitely not one of those things where it's like, all right, because on an everyday basis, everybody is trying to be super positive. And I will say this, it's a practice, because I'm not even going to sit up here in front like I have the best attitude in the world, but it is a practice to be positive, remain positive, and maintain that positivity over a period of time, because there's so many different distractions and so many different encounters that you have on an everyday basis that it allows you to you can find yourself in some situations where you really have to take a second to think. And if you're not taking that deep breath and thinking about what you're doing, then you can find yourself reacting in a way that can end up setting you back, and then you fucking up your whole game plan from there. So always stay focused, always stay motivated, motivate yourself, be inspired by whatever it is that you want to do. This podcasting business is a whole nother thing. And I've been putting it off for a while, like for years, matter of fact. Like I've been thinking about it for a long time. And it's always trying to like make it perfect. I was having these conversations for a long period of time where it's like, yeah, I want it to be like this. I want it to be like this. And then when you look up and you put things off like that, you'll miss a lot of time on the clock. So if you're online all day, every day, and you're seeing people how they are with certain people in their relationships, or, you know, they're taking trips every single day. For some people who are not focused, they tend to dig too deep off into it. And then that's when a lot of the hate starts. But the hate just don't come out of nowhere. It's something from within that allows them to not only not be happy, but it blocks them from being happy for other people as well. If you really think about it, when you look at the people who are really quote unquote successful, or whatever you want to call it, I'm sure everybody has common conversation. Everyone has barbershop talk. Everybody had the, beauty shop talk, whatever the case is. But at the same time, do you really see them tearing certain people down? Now, some people just got more time on their hands than others, and they can get real petty with the shit. But at the same time, it's like some people just get a kick out of tearing other people down. And then in the process of it, it's like they don't analyze themselves as far as like the root issues with themselves. Is like, why do I feel like this? Why am I always going at somebody? Why do I always have to say? A lot of people don't even realize they're doing it because it's their everyday routine. And as soon as you feel like you're too old to do something, there's somebody who's 10, 20 years older than you that's doing something for the first time. All they had to do was just go out and do it. And it don't matter what your profession is. It doesn't always have to stay the same. And as cliche as every message can be online with all the memes and everything else that's going on, try not to get caught up in, what you're reading, because a lot of people that's posting these memes are probably living something completely opposite than what they're posting. So it's like people don't practice what they post. They post it because they know it's going to get a reaction and engagement from somebody. However, on the flip side, they probably out there setting it off on a whole nother level, being petty as hell. Whatever you're going to do in this lifetime, that's for you and only you. So all that judgmental shit, let's throw that out the window. This is not the type of podcast where I'm aiming to tear people down and talk about, the current events in a way where it's like, hey, did you see what such and such was wearing? Did you hear about this and this, that, and the third, and why this person looked like this, why this person looked like that? I don't give a fuck about none of that. I remember being 18, 19, and I had a thing where it's like, if I'm too old to do it, then I'm just not gonna do it. But that was me telling myself, I guess in a way it was for me to force myself and push myself to get it done faster. Meanwhile, I was going through the process and it made me real impatient. Now, impatience can go two ways. Now, you can be impatient in a way to where you're strict on deadlines and you're able to knock out whatever you need to knock out and move on to the next. And then some people are impatient where they don't want to go through the process at all and they just expect everything to take off because they're talented. People might not be as talented as you think, in your opinion. However, their work ethic is through the roof. So it's like, it goes back to being judgmental. And no one's immune to it. I've myself done it over this period of time so far. I know I done it myself. I done seen somebody and it's like, I done heard certain songs or seen certain movies, whether it's an actor, whether it's a artist or whatever the case may be, or athlete, and they might not possess the same type of talent as a LeBron or as a, Michael Jordan, as a Allen Iverson, which is my favorite player, by the way, or rest in peace, Kobe. Everyone doesn't have that level of talent when it comes to the discipline that they put into their craft. Because if you're not willing to go out here and go the extra, not even the extra mile, like the extra mile is an old way of thinking. Like if you're trying to go an extra mile, it's people out here who running circles doing 10 miles on a whole nother level. So it's like, you got to give it up. When you see somebody doing their thing and you see somebody really just going all out for what they believe in, respect that. Play it forward. Being positive is, you can't have light without dark. It's balance. But a lot of times everything is not going to be balanced just because it's like you're forcing yourself to be positive. Your experiences are still going to happen how they happen. You still going to get those distractions. You still going to get that family member that's going to call you and want to pop their shit and talk crazy about whoever, whatever the case is. We all got them. So we all have the same types of distractions on an everyday basis. But it's how you choose to play into those distractions and allow them to either disrupt your day or uplift whatever it is that you're doing and stay focused on your path and on your journey. I fell into that particular point of allowing myself to question certain things based on age. And I feel like you got to go through it. Like you can't skip the process no matter what. Like you got to go through whatever it is you got to go through to understand that this is what I'm doing. This is what I enjoy doing. Because, let's be honest. You can start off doing something that you think this is what I really want to do, and then wake up one day and it's like, I don't even enjoy this. Like imagine how many people are brainwashed by doing something because someone else wanted them to do it. And then you see it all the time. You see people grow up and they just lose their shit because they're so brainwashed with a particular pattern from, what was instilled in them to when they get older. They like, I never liked this. I never enjoyed this. People find themselves continuously doing something that they don't enjoy doing, all because it was something that was kind of pushed on them as a child. And a lot of things that you think about, a lot of things that the way you respond to things, a lot of this stuff is embedded in a person from earlier ages. It's deep rooted shit. And that's a whole nother conversation. But you have to pay attention to and analyze yourself from time to time and evaluate yourself to make sure you're not counting yourself out. You want to start a podcast, start it. Work out wherever you are. Do some squats, do a push-up. Don't get thrown out by what you see online and people out here, doing backflips off the pull-up bars and shit like that. It's like, start off, do 5 push-ups. You're not able to do 5 push-ups, start off with 1. Everything starts with doing one thing. Do one thing, do 2 things, do 3 things, step by step. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in thinking that you're too young to do this or you're too old to do that, because you have people that's 12 years old, probably going to college, graduating college. Then you got someone that's 30 years old, never been to school, always wanted to go to school, but probably been distracted. So you never know what a person's situation is. So congratulations to anybody that's taking that first step. Salute, peace and blessings. Continue to do whatever it is that you're doing and keep elevating and keep growing. If you got to pull away from social media for a second, by all means, pull away from social media. Do a fast, social media fast, whatever you got to do, just to make sure that you're not allowing the content that you're seeing to pull you away from your passion, your path, your journey, or whatever it is. And at this point, I'm not doing the best at it. I'm gonna be all the way honest. I need to practice meditation more because I got so many different thoughts flying all over the place. And it's like, I really got to get that together. The working out is one thing, but it's like incorporating meditation with that is an entirely different thing. So that's what I'm working on. Just gonna keep growing and elevating from there. This is another dope episode with Curtis Rice at Born Real 86. But overall, what's your perspective on ageism? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow Born Real 86.